Welcome back, everybody, to the BWC. This is the video that will lead to Clash of Kings. Of course, last episode we had the next in line tournament, and Landon Morgan ended up winning, so he will go to the main event of Clash of Kings to face Frank the Great Flores. And the first segment here tonight on Battleground will be a promo battle between Landon Morgan and Frank the Great Flores. So before we get right into the video, I just want to say I am uploading other things on this channel that are not specifically the same thing. Like I have the Dave England show where I use the Dave England to interview different wrestlers using AI voices. And I also have entrance music. I might use the entrance music in some of the videos for the wrestlers. So I just wanted to let you know if you see some other uploads on this channel, that is what they are, and I might have other uploads. I'm currently doing the Dave England show on Wednesdays, and then this main show on every Friday. Alright, so for our first match, we have the Lazara brothers versus Black and White, and Black and White will win this tag team match. After the match, the Wolfpack will come out and do some smack talk on the Lazara family, because let's be honest, the Lazara family has been taking some L's lately. Marco is still on top of the company, but he has lost to Frank Flores twice now, so the Wolfpack is going in, and maybe there's going to be a faction versus faction match sometime soon. Alright, next we have a match here between Felix Frost and Grand Wolf. Felix Frost will win that one, and he will call out Jason the Barbarian Flores for a shot at the European Championship. Felix and Jason have a little bit of a rivalry going, so possibly we will see a championship match. All right, next up we have Lee War versus Shane Montana, and Shane Montana will win this one. Ooh, and here we have a backstage confrontation between Patrick Peterson and Jason the Barbarian Flores. Now, in the tournament, Patrick Peterson did defeat Jason Flores to go on to the main event of the tournament, and Jason Flores is not happy about that because he sees himself as better than Patrick Peterson, of course, because he has the championship. He kind of sees himself as the leader of the group, but we are obviously having some tension within the Gladiators. Okay, and now we have our main event. We have a U.S. Championship match. Ricky Blackbear has really been a bad dude recently. He attacked Nick Steele, and he's just been an all-around jerk. But so Nick Steele wants to prove that he's better than Ricky Blackbear. He is giving him a title shot. You could say he doesn't deserve it, but Nick Steele is a man. He's an honorable man, and he will fight for it, and he will defeat Ricky Blackbear. Bro, what is this? What is this? Who is this? Is this Evil Sanders? There's a debut attack. Evil Sanders comes out and attacks Nick Steele. Evil Sanders is our newest wrestler. We did a trade with ASW. We got Evil Sanders and we gave them Randy Flowers. So Randy Flowers is now going to be an ASW. He just didn't have really a path forward in this company. And with someone like that, you know, send them over to ASW, see if they can do something there, and then they can always come back someday. But we do have Evil Sanders now. He is said to be one of the greatest luchadors in the world, and he is going to come over to this company and wreck shop. He is a evil human. So, but he does come out and he attacks Nick Steele right after his match. And then we have Malachi Thorne coming out to do some smack talk on Nick Steele. So perhaps the Garden of Thorns is targeting Nick Steele. And what is this? He seems to be aligned with Evil Sanders. Evil Sanders is joining the Garden of Thorns. So that is it for this week. Alright, here we are on week 2, and starting us off, we have a match between two big-time players. We have Marco Lazara and Alpha. Their two factions are feuding right now, the Wolfpack and the Lazara family. So I'm actually going to randomize this one. These are two top heels in the company. It is heel versus heel. So we're going to randomize that, and Marco Lazara won. Good for him. And then we have a after-match attack right here. So they are going to continue fighting, these two factions. Okay, next up we have a lower card match. We have Michael Wave versus Dan Briggs. So we're going to have Michael Wave win that, climb up the ladder a little bit more. Okay, and then now we have a promo battle between Jason the Barbarian Flores and Felix Frost. So he wants that title shot. And Dave England is going to come out and surprise attack Felix Frost. And now the German Giant is going to come out, and he is going to force Dave England to retreat. So there's a lot of people at play here in this European Championship division. Let's see how that unfolds. Okay, next we have Kyle Grayson of Rage versus Razorblade of the Wolfpack. That's for a match, and Razorblade is going to win that match. And then he is going to call out the international champion, Alvador Rage, for a championship match at Clash of Kings. All right, for our main event, we have Nick Steele and Cody Duvall versus the Garden of Thorns, Malachi Thorne, and the newest wrestler in this company, Evil Sanders. Of course, he joined the Garden of Thorns, attacking Nick Steele last week, and we're going to have a match today, and the Garden of Thorns is going to win and beat Nick Steele, so it seems either Evil Sanders or Malachi Thorne are going to go to face Nick Steele for that United States Championship pretty soon. Alright, here we are, final week. Starting us off, we have a promo battle with Felix Frost, Jason Flores, German Giant, and Dave England. So they are all beefing right now because they've been getting the fights the past few weeks. His first fight, we have Mark Sharp versus Cole, the Hammer, Howard, and Mark Sharp will win this fight. And then Cole and Patrick will attack the Sharp brothers afterwards. Typical, they have been fighting for weeks. And luckily, it is almost time for Clash and Kings so that they can have their match there. Next, we have White Wolf versus Tony Lazzara. This is the Wolfpack and the Lazzara family have been feuding, and White Wolf is going to win and beat Tony Lazzara. And then, yeah, we just have these two factions feuding. That will be a cool faction versus faction match at next in line. Alright, I have Empire Elite versus the Garden of Thorns. This is Grant Wolf and Darius Creed, I think is his name. And the Garden of Thorns will win, so they're getting into the tag team division a little bit more, trying to take control of the show a little bit more. And of course, you have Malachi Thorne as the manager. Oh, okay. So we have a split interview with Landon and Frank Flores. So they're both getting interviewed. They have two stories to tell on their way to this match. That will be the main event. Okay, and then for this main event, this is German Giant and Felix Frost versus Dave England and Jason Flores tag team match. And I will, I guess, randomize the winner, and it will be German Giant and Felix Frost. All right, cool. So yeah, we're going to hop into Clash of Kings now. Welcome one and all to Clash of Kings. We are here. Finally, this is probably our third biggest show of the year, and we are going to jump right into it. Alright, so starting off, we have a fatal four-way match. Jason the Barbarian Flores, German Giant, Dave England, and Felix Frost for the European Championship. And we are going to have Felix Frost take out the victory and become the new European Champion. He has lost to Jason a few times, but he has now gotten his revenge, and he is the new European Champion. Alright, next up we have the Sharp Brothers versus Patrick Peterson and Cole the Hammer Howard of the Gladiators. And we are going to simulate this match. It has been alluded to for a long time, but I'm going to randomize the winner, so it could be either one of these teams. The Sharp Brothers retain. Wow, alright. I think they're the underdogs going into that fight. But yes, they retain their tag team champions against Patrick Peterson and Cole Howard. Alright, next we have for the international champion, we have Alvador Rage versus Razorblade of the Wolfpack. Should I randomize this one? I guess I will simulate. Alright, Alvador Rage wins. Alright. I randomize. I don't randomize much because I have a controlled way that I want to do the story a lot of the times, but every now and then I'll randomize a match. I admit, it's pretty hype when you randomize because anyone could win, but yeah. Alright, so we have a faction versus faction match. This is a 3v3 tag match. We have the Lazzara family versus the Wolfpack. And this Vinny Lazara, by the way, is very unhappy with the company, and he's going to leave after this match. I think he's actually going to leave the company. So they're going to lose a member, but the Wolfpack is going to win. So yeah, I'm not gonna give them the win just so that one guy won't leave. If he wants to leave, he can leave. He's been frustrated for a while. But the Wolfpack wins. Alpha, White Wolf, and Matt Black win. Okay, and now we have this match. This is Nick Steele versus Evil Sanders of the Garden of Thorns, and they have a street fight for the United States Championship. And I guess I'll simulate this match too. Alright, Nick Steele wins. He beats Evil Sanders. Alright, then finally we have the main event of Clash of Kings, and Frank Flores versus Landon Morgan. Frank Flores will win. Yet again, he will win. Frank Flores is the champion, and he will continue his reign. And Landon Morgan tried his best, but he's 54 years old, and Frank is like 37. So their age differences a lot. That definitely played into it. And if you saw the Dave England show with Landon Morgan, he said he's not done. Even if he loses this match, he's not retiring yet. So hopefully we will see him again soon. But yeah, that is Clash of Kings right there. Not too many fights on the event, but hey, it was quality event. Alright, and here's the Wrestling Spectator. If you would like to read that, I show this every time. You can pause it at any point and read it. There it is. Alright, and finally I'm going to run through the character sheets for this month. Good little event there. Felix Frost, our new European champion. I believe that was the only title that changed hands. I was a little surprised the Gladiators didn't beat Sharp Brothers, because I think their combined popularity. Also, if you don't know how the randomized system work, it is random, but it definitely takes into consideration the popularity level, like the little popularity thing. So, like, if Zed, for example, fought Frank Flores wins, like, probably like 85% of the time. I don't really know the numbers, but the randomization, it'll have Frank beat the lower guy a lot of the time, you know. But yeah, it is random, so anything can really happen. All right, well that's cool. Thank you. The next event will be Warriors Right, I believe, which is like a Money in the Bank type thing. So we will have some qualifying matches for that. So stay tuned, and goodbye.